I'm not suicidal, and if anything happens to me, it's not an accident.
If any harm comes to us, it was definitely Israel.
So there's this Young Turks host called Anna Kasparian, and you've probably seen her lately. She's been a lot on like Peers because she has this like blonde, super emotive, like, Jews are baby killers. I'm furious. You guys just want to murder us and I will not apologize. I'm American. I love America. Blah, blah, blah. She does this whole thing and she shuts everybody up because she's so emotional. Look, good for you for really, really caring about humanity. Genuinely, it's a beautiful trait to see somebody who cares so much. Unfortunately, you are so dearly mistaken. You are so unbelievably wrong about the people causing the pain and the harm here, that all of your hysteria really should go towards Hamas terrorists and out of the conspiracy theories around Israel. And honestly, your life will get much better because you might actually reach some sort of solution to the thing that's bothering you so much. Okay, you don't like children being murdered, then like condemn Hamas and help us end them. Anyway, but she called out this other organization the other day, and I want to talk about this for a second. Okay, she called out an organization called Canary Mission. Now, when I first heard about Canary, I was like, oh, that sounds hectic. And, you know, I believe in free speech to some degree. I'm a little bit iffy about that at the moment, but, you know, I believe in free speech. And so what Canary Mission does is basically, they're considered a doxing site, okay? And they've been on the news a lot lately because they basically find content posted on social media, public content. They don't go for private content, public content posted by individuals that is anti-Semitic, okay? And they screenshot it or record it and put it on the internet, basically saying, hi, this is what this person does. Now, they have basically succeeded in being foolproof. Like, they are so consistent and precise in documenting whatever these people say. And, by the way, in that leading to direct ramifications. So, for example, it was actually on the news lately because during one of these discussions about deportations in America of students, they admitted that they're using Canary Mission's content. And why is this important? Why is this of significance? Well, because no one knows who Canary Mission is. Okay, it's like a secret organization. They've been around for years and years, and they have succeeded in basically staying. No one knows where they come from, how they've come to be, how they've come to exist, but their information is so good that the government can use it. And obviously the government was like, people were like, how could you do this? And like, we double check everything that Canary does, everything. And it's foolproof. Now, what does Canary exactly do? How do they dox these people? And how do they dox them so badly that even the likes of Al Jazeera, you know, and Students for Justice have like full meetings saying like how to make sure you don't get on this doxing list? Because by the way, if you're about to hire somebody, you're about to hire a nurse, and you decide, you know what, let me do like a quick research into this nurse. And you research her and it says like, I'll take care of everybody except for Jews. I want to, you know, then that's going to make you unhireable. And Canary will find the fact that you said these things and put them online. But people don't like it because it feels like, how could you dox these people? But what I find so interesting is the simple fact that all of these people, and the only thing that Canary has done, all of these people have said these things publicly and stand by these positions enough to post it online. And all Canary does is documents it. That's all they do. They just provide proof of the things that you have said. Meaning, your actions are directly going to bite you in the butt. You say that you think it's okay to people, then like, and so Canary has gotten this really bad reputation, you know, like this doxing site, it's against anybody who's pro-Palestinian, blah, blah, blah. But actually the truth is, it's like, they've done really good research, and I've been going through their research. Like, I've been on this website now for days, like reading through the things that they provide, and all they do is provide receipts to the actions of these people themselves. And so therefore the American government can actually use things like these receipts to say, oh, okay, wait a second, here's some proof of your anti-American personality. And so like Anna Kasparian calls them out. It's like, what is this? Watch the clip.
I'm not suicidal, and if anything happens to me, it's not an accident.
If any harm comes to us, it was definitely Israel.
I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American. I'm not an Israeli. There's no law on the books that indicates that I have to support Israel in any way, shape, or form. Over the weekend, I noticed that I have become a target of one of these pro-Israeli groups. It's a shadowy group, doesn't disclose who it's funded by. It's called Canary Mission.
So now there's a pro-Israel group inside America that is encouraging death threats against Americans. Well, you came to the wrong place, brothers and sisters. I'll double down what Anna said. If any harm comes to us, it was definitely Israel. Not one person from mainstream media will cover this. Not one government official will care. If you're threatening to murder Christians or Muslims or anyone else in this country, they don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't. But if you insult someone who's pro-Israeli,
And I just find it fascinating. I find it fascinating that these people cannot handle the fact that there are ramifications to their actions. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what Canary does. They provide ramifications to people's terrible actions. They just say, if you're going to put it on the internet, it's going to be found and we're going to find it. And I don't know how they do it. They must have like a team of 10,000 people working. I don't know how they managed to keep a secret like this alive for so, it's amazing. It's a very, very impressive feat. But they are right on the money. They provided proof against Candace. They were right about that. Mamdani, right about that. But more niche, like they managed to go into universities and find like the people who are doing the terrible things, people behind the encampments, etc. And they're doing a really good job. And I think it's interesting because for so long when I heard about them, it was such a negative, like, oh, terrible organization. And I'm like, this is actually quite important. And it shouldn't be so extreme to support an organization like this. It shouldn't be so extreme to say, you know, like if there's a group of people out there who decided to dedicate their life to finding people who want the end of the Jewish people, and they want to take the time to say, hey, here are the receipts, here's proof of what these people are doing, and they're not doing anything else except for actually just like providing the proof of what these people have said, I think that's pretty cool. And I've been afraid to talk about this, which is what I find insane. I've been afraid to talk about this topic because I'm afraid it's going to make me sound extreme. But the more I think about it, the more I realize I don't think this is so extreme. I don't think that if I ever did something that was really, really bad and I talked about it online and somebody used that against me, that I wouldn't have to pay the price of that. If I said I think people should, and the internet found that, then that's a ramification to my action. By the way, what's interesting is they have the ability to become an ex-Canary on their website, which I think basically means there's a form of actions that you can do to get off their blacklist. So like if you're willing to denounce the fact that you want Jews, then like, you know. Anyway, I just find it interesting that an organization that nobody really knows about is actually managing to have such a massive impact. And I think it's a reminder to all of us, A, that you can have impact. Whoever you are, you can do something out there, you can do something great and really make the world a safer place, call out people, give out ramifications to terrible actions, but also to remember that sometimes you're going to be labeled for saying things that are considered extreme, and they're actually not that extreme. It's just people wanting to tantrum as much as they can about things that they feel like it's not acceptable, which is why Al Jazeera has like a podcast talking about how insane this thing is, like you can't get blacklisted. But I actually think that sometimes you have to look at the facts on the table and say, is this extreme or is this just simple truth? And I think Canary Mission at the moment are doing us all a very, very, very big favor. And so once again, I'm Kasparian, who we started this video off with, stop being so emotive. But if you are going to be so emotive, then at least focus it in the right place, because in the wrong place is actually causing more harm. And stop calling out people who have to deal with the ramifications of their actions, because one day you're going to have to deal with the ramifications of your actions too.